Are we ready? Justin, do you need to water anything before we start? You better hurry up. Hey, listen, red light.
Red light.
Red light. You better hurry.
Red light on the red light.
Hot lights on.
Don't trip
Hot
over any
lights
of the
on.
cords because there are plenty of them.
I've seen that movie.
Tripping over cords?
Yum on.
What movie is that?
I don't know.
What is going on, everybody? Thank you for tuning in to the Last Flight Show. I'm your host, Jake Klein. Joining me today, down here on the end, is my co-host, Matt Hicks, owner of Last Flight Calls. And in the middle here, we have Justin Baker. He is my brother-in-law. Today's podcast is going to be about probably one of my favorite turkey hunts that I've ever been on, and one of the most memorable and has the most meaning. So this hunt, all in general, you know, the way that it went down and, you know, events leading up to this hunt, probably makes this my all-time favorite turkey hunt. So I'm extremely excited.
And I've heard this story many times, and trust me, it's going to be one you want to pay attention to.
You know, honestly, I don't know. This hunt, I'm not going to get into the intro.
Yeah,
we'll get into it in the show.
We'll get there.
We'll get
I already
there.
know where you're going with it.
I know it's my favorite because it's the only turkey I've ever gotten.
Yeah. I mean, you've had opportunities before that.
We won't talk about that part, but
Yes, we will.
no, we don't have to.
Yikes.
All right, Matthew, take us through the verse of the week.
All right, verse of the week. This week is Luke 11:23, and I'm reading now the NLT version, and it reads, "Anyone who isn't with me opposes me, and anyone who isn't working with me is actually working against me." Wow, I think that's pretty powerful, and I think it's something, you know, we all need to look in the mirror and actually think about.
It's cut and dry.
It's pretty cut and dry.
You know what I mean?
We're not messing around.
This is it.
You know, and that's, you know, we kind of been getting more confrontational with some of these verses. Like, that's a pretty confrontational verse. Like one that's like, you either in or you're out. Like, let's go.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And kind of the reason for that is because that's kind of how I like to do things.
Yeah.
You know, you're either in or you're out. Like, let's man up and make, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
But like, you know, like you're either in or you're out. And it helps us on a podcast, helps me as a believer and a Christ follower to hold myself to a higher standard, to be more accountable. If I read you that verse and you see me working against the Lord,
Yep.
what's that say? Look like an idiot.
Yep.
Pretty, you know, like a hypocrite, all that, you know, I just look terrible. And that's okay, because this is going to hold me accountable. You know, all the verses we put out, we don't want to just put them out and then, I don't know, go to the bar and drink all weekend. Or I don't know, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that's not what we do. Like we put out the verses because they mean a lot to us.
Yes.
Like, and we want to use this platform and everything else to impact others. But let's break down this verse specifically into 3 parts like we do every week. And basically, the first part, anyone who isn't with me opposes me. That's very strong. Like there's no in between, there's no middle ground, there's no gray area, there's no neutral. It's not I'm in today and out tomorrow, or in, you know, I'm only in because I'm having a hard time.
Yeah.
But as soon as things get better, I'm out.
Right.
It's not about that. You know, you're all in every day, every minute,
Yeah.
24/7. Now that doesn't mean you're not going to screw up. That doesn't mean you're not going to sin. That doesn't mean, you know what I mean? That doesn't mean you're not going to screw up and you're not perfect.
Yeah.
You know, but what that means is when you do hit a hard spot, you do sin, you do, you know, something stupid that opposes God, you can sit there and you're gonna recognize it right away and repent of it right away.
Yep.
And get back on the right track.
Yep.
And that's what God wants to see.
And I brought this up when we went to church with you last, and we had that family got baptized, and that little boy, when he had talked about lying, remember when he had said that he still lies, but when he lies, it feels different.
He's instantly convicted.
And that is when you know you're in, right? There is no 1 foot in, 1 foot out type deal. Like, and we talked about it before, like,
and that conviction with the lying, feeling that heart change and that conviction, not to jump
no, you're good, you're good,
but like that will now change his habits. His habits ain't there yet because he's been living his whole life lying all the time.
Right.
But now that his heart's changed, his mind can change. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And every day he's renewing his mind every single day. And eventually he isn't going to lie anymore. You know what I mean? And he might go, and he might lie, but then he knows right away.
Yeah.
Like he has that discernment right away and that conviction from the Holy Spirit to be like, oh crap, like, I'm sorry, I just lied to you.
Yeah.
And just says it
Yeah.
right away instead of holding it in, you know what I mean? Doing what he used to do.
Oh yeah.
But, yeah.
Yeah. And too, like, I mean, we talked about this morning in the men's group. It's just like, if you are 1 foot in, 1 foot out, like, I just wish that people knew the happiness that they would feel, the weightless that they would feel if they just put both feet in. Like, that's all you have to do is put both feet in, and just like last week on the verse, you know what I mean? We have to get out of our own way, right? We
Yes.
get out of our own way, then, and we just let God change us. Like, it's just, I mean, there's no way that you would want to go back to being even 1 foot out. I mean, once you understand and you feel and you know what's going on, and you can actually, in your soul, feel the change, then you'll never want to live without him again. Like, it's just, it's that life-changing.
And I know it's hard for some people to be like, to really comprehend that, but that's
Right.
what faith is you're trusting in God, because you don't know the plan.
Yeah.
He knows the plan.
Yeah.
But if you don't obey, if you don't trust, if you don't plug into him, you will not know, just like we talk about in men's group, like, your way could be good. It could be good.
Right.
It could be really good. But it ain't the best.
Is it his good?
But it ain't the best.
Yes.
God's way is the best. That's when you find joy, not happiness, joy.
Yeah.
Happiness comes from what happens in your circumstance, but joy comes out of your heart.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's one of the fruits of the Spirit, and that's what God can give you.
Right.
And but let's go on to the second part here. Anyone who isn't working with me is actually working against me. So really, if you aren't living for him, and you're feeding the other side, you're feeding the evil one.
Yeah.
You're feeding Satan. Like, you're feeding that life.
Yep.
Whether you and that doesn't mean you just went out and murdered somebody or robbed a bank or whatever else. That doesn't mean that. But if the evil one can just keep you lukewarm,
Yeah.
if he can keep you from truly surrendering, he's happy.
Right. Yeah.
Because he doesn't care. The devil doesn't care if you go to church. He doesn't care. Because he knows you walk in that church, you ain't really surrendered.
Right.
He don't care. In fact, he probably likes that, sending a person, that lukewarm person, into that church to kind of spread that lukewarmness to the other people. You know what I mean? Oh, he probably loves that.
Yeah.
But I mean, if what he really truly fears is a fully surrendered person.
Right.
That's what he truly fears.
Yeah.
Just
And so here's the kicker off of that.
yeah.
Okay, so defining who isn't working with me, right? That's not just people that aren't. How do I want to put this? That's not just people that are following God now.
Yeah.
This is more toward even us as Christians and very much alive in our faith. If we're not doing anything with that, we can go to church on Sunday, right? We can pray. We can be all in ourselves doing this Jesus thing. But if we're not helping others get to that point,
Further the kingdom.
then we are just as much a part of isn't working with me as someone that has nothing to do with the Lord.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's our duty to guide people. It was your duty to guide me. It was my brother's duty to guide me. You guided me, and look where I'm at now. That is your job as a Christian in following that faith. And if you're not doing that, what are we doing?
I mean, you can sit there and ask yourself, what did you do today? Mm-hmm. What did you do today to further the kingdom? What did you do today to plug into God? What did you pray today?
Yep.
Because like a lot of people go to church, and it's the check the box of the world.
Yep.
You see what I'm saying? Oh, I went to church. I can post or tell, my buddy, yeah, I went to church. Been going to church for a while. And,
Yep.
Every Sunday I go to church. Go to church every Sunday.
Yeah.
Well, what about Monday, Tuesday,
Right.
Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday?
Yeah.
What are you doing then?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people will use that as a front or, a cover, and that's the worldly way of
Yep.
just saying,
Yep.
yeah, I went to church, I'm check the box. I'm good for the week.
Well, and the other,
You know what I mean?
Yeah, and the other thing too,
their heart isn't. They're not surrendered.
Yeah.
They don't get that.
And we've talked about this over and over again, and there's a misconception of church is the building. You have to go to the building to go to church. That is false, right? Church can be anywhere, anytime that you have that conversation with somebody or that needs to hear. It could be at work. It could be on a job site. It could be, in a duck blind. It could be anywhere.
When the Bible says the church, he's talking about the community, the people.
People.
He's talking about us right here doing this right now.
Yep.
This is church. This is the church.
Yep.
It's not a building. For the longest time, and you go, I mean, this was way back.
Way back.
Bible times. I don't know what you call it, but like there weren't churches. They gathered in houses. They went house to house.
Yep.
There wasn't churches. You know what I mean? Like, I think church is great. I love going to church. I love the music, worshiping. I love hearing the sermons. I love doing all that. But when the Bible says the church, he's talking about us. He's talking about the people, the community.
Yep.
Acting it out. Men's group on Friday. Doing this podcast every week. What we do at the Last Flight Show, posting every day, kind of challenging people every day. We put up some tough stuff that I really hope people look in the mirror and kind of ask themselves the questions that we put up.
Yeah.
And just like the one from last night, God's plan isn't delayed. Your obedience is.
Yeah.
You can't wait on God. Like, you've got to go after him, and he will be there and show you the way.
Yeah.
If you're just like, I ain't going to do nothing until he shows me something.
Right.
What kind of attitude's that? What kind of friend is that?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's more than just religion. It's more than just going to church. It's a friendship. It is a real relationship.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
But yeah, so if you're not working with them, you're working against them. There's a hard line. There's no, and that doesn't mean you're going to get it right all the time. Like, all of a sudden, but like,
there's no riding the fence. Like,
there's no riding the fence.
There's no
You can't ride the
benefit.
fence.
There's 3 outcomes to this, right? Actually 2, but 3 options. Either you go all in, which is the best, obviously. You ride the fence, which doesn't benefit you at all.
Or anybody else.
Right? And then there's the option of just completely turning away, which is obviously the worst that you could do. But there's no fence riding.
You want to get real bold with it? This is life or death.
You're right.
This is life or death. Eternity with God or death. You pick.
Yep.
Because that's what you're playing with here.
Yep.
And like I said, that doesn't mean you're going to get it right all the time. That's not what it's about.
Right.
But we'll go on to the third thing here. And my sheet messed up. The third part here is when you do further the kingdom, you do act these things out, like you do these things, right? Like people know. Like you don't really have to say anything.
Yes.
They can see it. They can feel it. They can see the way. Like you can tell somebody when they're under pressure or when they're free.
Yep.
Like you can just, they don't even have to say a word. They walk in this building, like I can tell if they're dealing with something hard or they're free as a jaybird. You know what I mean? Like they just know, like you can sense it. And that's what people like with Jake, you can just sense the freedom, the stress is not there, like the anxiety, you know what I'm saying? Like you can just sense it. Like you don't even have to say anything.
Yeah.
But real faith moves, you're active, you're committed, you're in, the people around you can see that. But yeah, and it's an everyday thing. It's not just, I got saved today and, oh, I'm good.
Right.
No. Because I can get saved today and go kill someone tomorrow.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And, it's got to be an active, daily thing.
But on the flip side of that, too, if you think about it, you could kill someone today and get saved tomorrow at the same time.
You can do that, too. That's how powerful
You're
this
not,
thing is.
You are never too far gone to repent and get saved.
Gives us the power to pick up the cross or to put it back down.
Yeah.
And that's God's gift to us. That's the power he gives us. Like, honestly, he gives us the same power. Like, we have the choices to do all this.
Yeah.
Like, he gives us the same power as what he has, honestly. We just screw it up. Yep. Honestly, like, we fall to the temptation. Like, Jesus was tempted, but he didn't fall to the temptation because he had God.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Right.
like Jesus had God. Like, I know that sounds weird, but like that's how it was. You know what I mean? And that's why he wasn't. He was tempted, the same things we are tempted with. But he was so in tune and plugged in with God that he didn't act on any of those.
Yeah, but you know what's crazy is that we're doing this verse, you know, and at church right now we are in the book of Acts.
Oh yeah.
And it came up, you know, like, hey, what this says right here, you know, you said faith demands action, right? So
Yes.
that's what was said during the sermon.
Yeah.
Faithfully, you take action. Fear causes inaction.
Yes.
And therefore inaction is also sin,
Yes.
because you're not
Yep.
making disciples as what you
Right.
are commanded to do
Yeah.
through the Bible.
Yeah.
And just the way things that just come together absolutely blows my mind sometimes.
And kind of that faith demands action. I mean, like if you put Jesus in your life today, what would have to change? I mean, you're going to need a lifestyle change. Like, this
yeah.
has to be a lifestyle change. Like, it is,
Yeah.
because, you know, if you're not saved today, like, and you get saved tomorrow, your life cannot be the same. Like,
Right.
it cannot go on the same. You're a new person.
Yep.
You're a new creation.
Well, and that's where that fence riding comes in.
Yeah, you
Either
can't-
you're in or you're not. Like,
You can't be both, you
Right.
know, and, you know, that can be action as well, is just changing your lifestyle
Yeah.
to kind of help you out in your faith, and
Right.
further in the kingdom and discipleship and whatever you're doing,
Yeah.
you know, so,
Yeah. Check this out.
uh-oh.
Choosing Jesus means living like you mean it every single day. We've had this conversation multiple times, and that is, and I'm going to bring it up again. It's not the words that you hear, or it's not necessarily the conversations that you had, or the words that you read. It is how you live your life.
Yep.
It's
The words you say,
I can assure you,
the way you walk,
Yep.
the way everything.
I can assure you that I have had more conversations about Jesus because of my life change and the way that I'm living my life than I have just talking to someone about it. It's been absolutely incredible. So yeah, just make sure that you know that you are doing your part in working with the Lord and doing what we were sent here to do. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So, do you guys have anything that you want to add or talk about?
I had something in my head and I can't remember
Oof.
what it was. Maybe it'll come to me.
Maybe it'll come to you.
I don't know.
Okay. Well, until then,
The
Weird.
show's canceled.
cut.
All
right.
No, I know what I was going to say.
There it is.
Just like living it, and it says every single day.
Yeah.
That's why we do the verse of the week.
Oh, yeah.
In the podcast,
Yep.
we like to drop it Monday if we can, because, like I said, a lot of people just go to church to check the box of acceptance.
Hey, I went to church
Hey, I went
today.
to church. I'm a good person.
Yep. I can go act like a jagaloon the rest of the week.
Exactly. And then you go to work and you're cussing like a sailor or ridiculing someone, yelling at somebody for this or that, and you're just a hothead or just whatever that is, right? But if we drop that thing Monday and you listen to it on your way to work
Yep.
or whatever, you buy a call Monday, you know, whatever the case is on Monday, you get to start your week.
Yeah.
When Monday would usually mean you go back to your stupid self. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Without Jesus. And this is a way maybe for folks to be like, oh, wait a minute.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or maybe they listen to it Tuesday.
Yeah.
Something throughout the week to where it kind of reminds them of like, no, I got to stay on track. I can't go to work and start yelling at people. I can't go to work and just be angry.
Yeah.
I can be patient. I can be kind.
Right.
You can do all those things and still get your point across if someone's not doing a job right or something.
Yep.
You know, you don't need to be throwing hard hats or kicking dirt or none of that.
Yep.
Like,
Yeah.
you know, like I can sometimes go the other way on you to where your person's like, you know, screw you, I quit.
Right.
You know, and you really needed that person. Or if the person's not quite what you're wanting, you can show them love and kindness and show them like, hey, you know, this is how you really need to do it. Like, and these are the reasons why.
Yeah.
Kind of explain it, sit down with them. And then it's still their decision if they want to be a good
Yeah.
worker or not.
Yeah.
But you could have changed that person to where like, oh, okay, now this makes so much more sense. Instead of just getting hot and not communicating correctly, you know, and forcing them off a job site or whatever the case is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Now you have that opportunity to be more like Jesus without even, you're not saying like, hey, I'm, Jesus, Jesus. You know what I mean? You're not
Yeah.
doing that. You're
Right.
just the way you're acting, the way
Yeah.
you're approaching, the patience, the kindness.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's what it's about. And you could change that person versus them just going the other way.
Right.
And you can change their life forever doing this.
And I want to point something out too, that we sit here on this podcast and we speak these words, and we're not perfect. Like I go to work, and if I told you that I went to work and I acted like a perfect saint, I would be lying to you, right? There are times where words do come out of my mouth that are not in a harmful matter and toward anyone, but they come out of my mouth and just in a talk or a situation, and instantly I feel the guilt of doing that. And I think that's the biggest thing too, is if you're in the process of this change, if you're just like the kid, when he gets baptized, when you're in the process of this change, if it happens, you feel it. Hey, I can't do that. And I can assure you that I do it 5% of the 100% that I used to. But there's going to be times where stuff happens. We're not perfect. And when it's what you do with that when it happens, right? We're just like you said, you can't be too far gone, and he will continue to save us. Don't make it a habit, right? You can't just go out and say, hey, I'm going to kill that guy because God's going to save me tomorrow and I'm going to be fine.
Go get saved tomorrow.
You can't do
and then
that.
Thursday you go kill another guy. And then Friday you get saved.
It's the repetitive
Saturday
that you
go
can't
kill
do. You're right, exactly.
But see, in that case, you're not saved because your heart
not
posture.
saved.
It's all about your heart
Yep.
posture.
Right.
You're not going to be saved because you're like, oh, well, I'm going to keep doing this.
Yeah, exactly.
If nothing changes in your life, if nothing changes, well, you probably need to go pray some more. You're probably not saved. Like, that's just the truth. If you're truly not changing.
Mm-hmm.
And that goes for all of us sitting at this table too.
Yeah.
Like, and not trying to be too like calling anybody out, but like, just ask yourself that question.
Right. Yeah.
Did my heart change?
Mm-hmm.
Am I changing anything?
Yeah.
What am I doing today for Jesus?
Right.
Am I doing anything?
Mm-hmm.
And it could be just as simple as listening to Christian radio for a week.
Yeah.
Sometimes some of this takes baby steps, the lifestyle and stuff, but God can change it in an instant too.
Mm-hmm.
Man, and I tell you what, it's the best feeling in the world when you're consistently being at church events, just doing what you're supposed to do. I know you talked about checking the box for the week, by going to church, but
Yeah, I've been there in my life.
My church is right across the road from my house, so I'm there all the time. And it's really something when you're new in the faith and new in your walk, and you get elders and people that have been going to church for a long time, or even your pastor, and they're like, dude, I see Christ working in your life. Like, you are changing more than you realize.
It
is such a good feeling.
The unconditional love of a atmosphere and I'm going to call it a family, a community, is what really can hold people accountable for what they've done, right? And we've talked about it before, like sugarcoating is not love. Like, if I were to do something stupid, and I would expect one of you to say, hey, dude,
Quit being stupid.
Quit being stupid. Like, that's not what we're, this is the way that I would have handled it. You know what I mean? And we have a good friend that comes to the men's groups in the morning. His name is Scott, and he's really good about doing that. He's really good about explaining or helping you through a situation.
Yeah, he's just so knowledgeable.
Oh my gosh, it's crazy.
and that's the difference. The way he handles it, like, hey, he'll keep you in check.
Yeah.
But he does it out of love. He doesn't do it like, oh, well, I wouldn't have done that.
Right.
Like,
It's
like, hey, I have done that.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, this is how you fix it, or this is what I would have done different. So that way you can avoid further issues in life,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
we
really do need to get him on here.
I could listen to him for hours.
That's what I'm saying.
That's what I'm saying. I don't, like, before you know, it's like men's groups 3 hours. It's only supposed to be an hour. And it's just like, oh, what happened? Scott was talking the whole time, which is good and great, but like, he's just so in tune. He is just so in tune that, like, everything he says is just like, it's captivating.
So in tune to the Bible and the world, like the life. You know what I mean? He can take something that's happening in today's world and tell you where it talks about that happened in the Bible.
Yep.
And it's just like, and the way that he explains it and the way that he helps you work through your problems is...
And he don't just talk about it. He
No.
lives, like, this is his life.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
And he is definitely someone that, you know, you would want to keep in your corner.
Oh, yeah.
You know, as far as being able to just ask for advice. You know what I mean? And he's not going to sugarcoat anything. Like, if you're screwing up, he's going to tell you you're screwing up. Like,
That's kind of the way he is, too, is like, yeah, I'm just going to tell you you're an idiot.
Yeah. Well, and
That's okay, because
Yeah.
this is how we not be
Yeah.
an idiot.
But
You
he's
know what I
also
mean?
the type you can come to,
Yeah.
completely open, guard
Yeah.
down,
Oh,
and
yeah.
be like, "Hey, can we talk?" And he's like, "Come over."
Yep.
Well, just like this
Let's do
morning, when I had talked about, there was a part where I had, you know, kind of brought up how, and my view on it and my feelings on it. And he corrected me, and it wasn't in a way that, you know what
Yeah,
I
I
mean?
could tell you were, because he even apologized, like, sorry, I'm not trying to like beat you up on it. And you're like, no, that's good.
No,
like,
I
tell me.
want
Like,
to
I
know
wanna
that.
know.
I want to hear that.
I want to know what the truth is.
Yes, and that's what we need. We need that correction because that helps us stay on that narrow path. And once we allow that path to get bigger, then you're allowing the room for distractions and other ungodly things to enter your path or enter your views.
Yep.
And
Then it can
distractions
just,
from God cause destruction. And
well, and then it just gets bigger
It's-
and
yeah.
bigger and bigger and bigger. And like you said before, you know it.
Yep. And that example you give
know what I mean?
is the product of a receptive heart.
Mm-hmm.
You're available for God. You're available to learn more. Like
Yeah.
you're receptive to what's happening
And you
what's
have to
going
be.
on. You know, if you just want to take in what you want and leave out what you don't want, you know what I mean? It's not.
Yeah.
It's not gonna work.
the whole cherry picking stuff is so annoying.
I
Like,
hate that. Ugh.
it's like, you know,
You know.
you got the right idea, but you're not practicing
Yep.
it fully.
Mm.
Like, there's more to it than what you're trying to get, you know, say.
And we ain't up here on a pedestal thinking, no,
No.
we're perfect. Because I'm just telling you, like, we talk about the church thing. We talk about this verse. I lived this. I lived on the fence my whole life. You know, I've been saved 2 different times.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I've lived it and I've walked away.
Yeah.
I chose both.
What was a turning point in yours? You said, I'm done with being 1 foot in and 1 foot out.
I made that choice. I
I'm
just said I'm done
opening
with
my
it.
heart and I'm going to let him in.
Yep. Because I'm tired of getting beat over the head.
Yep.
And a lot of people make this decision when they're in a crisis moment, and you know, there's nowhere else to turn to, and that's when people realize they can't do it themselves.
Right.
I can't get out of this hole myself, and that's when a lot of people will turn to Jesus.
Yeah.
You know, but you know, you know, we ain't out here thinking we're perfect. You know, I'm an idiot a lot of times. You know, but I've lived on the fence my whole life, and you know, even some days, even like, you know, this week, I've had some moments where I'm like kind of on the fence, and it's just like, whoa, stop.
Right.
But the more you're in tune with that, you know, you get off that fence pretty quick.
Right.
You know what I mean? You don't stay there. You realize, like, oh no, like I haven't prayed today. What am I doing? You know, like my mind's just not on the right thing right now.
Yeah.
You know what I
Yep.
mean? I'm too distracted. I'm whether it's something going on in your life or work or you know, kids sporting events, even something that's a good thing. I'll go to, you know, but Jesus has the best thing for you.
Right.
When you seek Him, He will show you the best thing. So,
Yeah. For sure.
but yeah, I think that's good for that. And let's get on to Justin's story, because he's got a pretty cool story here. I've heard it several times from Jake, and yeah, it's a pretty cool one that ties in kind of faith and hunting. So
Yeah, and it's kind of one of them things to where, for me, I didn't realize it at the time. I didn't realize it while we were standing there over your turkey. At that time, for me, it was, hey, we just killed a turkey, right? And when I look back on it, like just the whole, we're gonna tell the whole story.
Yes.
And it's absolutely incredible. It's just something that, you know.
And your new vision, your new look on this thing, your new perception on it is because of your changed heart.
Yes.
You know, with Jake getting, you know, more in tune with the Lord, like he's taken that veil off, and he's able
Mm-hmm.
to see more clearly and recognize some of these things that's been happening in his life.
He has
that-
been there for me in times that
Yes.
I did not know
Didn't
that he was
even-
there.
Didn't even realize. And that's
And that's crazy.
that's kind of one thing too I've been doing now is writing down what I've prayed for, just
Mm-hmm.
so that I can go back in a month or two or a year or whatever it is and look back and see what I prayed for. And then it'll kind of open your eyes like, oh, that did get answered. It
Yeah.
just wasn't the way I wanted it. It was God's way.
Yeah.
I was thinking I wanted it to go this way. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Well, that's not God's way. Mm-hmm. And that prayer got answered. You just didn't see it because you're too busy on yourself.
Right.
You know?
Yep.
So that's one thing I challenge you, other people that are listening to this. Write down what you're praying for,
Yeah.
so that you can go back. And Scripture even ties this in too, so that you can go back and see what He's done.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
That's part of thinking clearly. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like, is writing it down. If that's what you got to do, hey, you know what I mean?
Yep.
Because we will forget, because it is just natural for us to just get on our own track. You know, hey, if the result of this prayer is this, it's answered. Thank you, Lord.
Yeah.
But no, we can't pray that.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying.
Yes. Yes.
But-
God's
All right.
not a wishing well.
No.
All right. You guys got anything before we go to break?
No.
Nope.
All right. We're going to take a quick break, and then we will be right back.
Welcome to the Last Flight Show, brought to you by Last Flight Calls and Gear. This episode starts now.
Welcome.
There it is.
Welcome back, everybody.
We're back.
We all.
Didn't expect that, did you? Whoa. So fast.
I think I passed out
pretty
for a
big,
minute.
commercial
Oh, man.
break.
You can see my sweat in my shirt.
It's hot in the
It is
shop.
hot in here.
And it's really not like that hot outside,
just
but the
humid.
humidity, it's got to be
Yeah.
like 99%.
Yeah.
Because like
This is crazy.
we got like a heat advisory or warning or something. I
If
don't
it
know.
was if it was any more humid, it'd be raining in here.
I'm
right now.
about to
Yes.
take my shirt off and do this podcast shirtless.
Like yesterday was so hot because it was like 88.
Oh, it's crazy.
Which, like if it's a dry heat, that's not terrible.
And then this
but
thing
it was
holds
just
so much sweat.
humid. Everything
Yeah.
just feels greasy.
I don't know how, like, literally, was it yesterday or 2 days? The last couple days, it was like 60s in the morning, and I'm like loving
Yes.
life. Like, this is perfect.
I'd
Dude,
open
it
up
was so awesome.
I'd
Oh.
open up the shop, get the fans blowing. It'd be like air conditioned in here. Like I would walk, it'd be like 62 out. I'd walk in the shop and it'd be like boom, heat.
Yeah.
From the day before. So I
Oh,
could
yeah.
get the doors opened up, get everything blowed out. Oh, those were great days. Felt so good in here.
Yeah.
But
So
next week we'll get some of that.
yeah. But yeah, it felt like I walked out my door to go to work, and I was like, I feel like I should be grabbing my bow right now. Like you go and
Yeah.
sit in a tree stand.
Yep.
Dude,
You know
that's
what I mean?
exactly
what I
where my
thought.
mind went.
Yep.
When I walked out, and I got goosebumps because it was kind of chilly.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, dude, it's gonna be hunting
It's
season.
hunt season.
That's really what I thought, dude. I was like, dude, what is it? 1 month? No, 2 months. No.
No.
Like it's coming. You know
yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, but really, in 5 weeks we can shoot geese.
Yep.
5 or 6 weeks. So
Yep.
a month and a half. That is not a long time.
2 months is deer season.
2 months of deer.
I have dove season coming in.
Yeah, buddy.
Ooh boy.
So
I'm ready for some doves.
All right.
love
Well,
those cooler mornings.
Yes. So, as we talked about in the intro, today's episode is with Justin Baker. He between him and my brother, my brother was very vocal about it. Justin was very physical about it, and as far as he didn't beat me or anything like that, but just we talk about it before. Just people just living their life through faith can change the perspective of others, right? And so what we're going to talk about today is Justin's first turkey. We're going to start this thing by talking about his epic fail the year before. And
Didn't you have one this year?
I did. Did you
I
too?
thought you did.
It wasn't
Maybe
a
he didn't
fail,
tell ya.
It was an opportunity that I didn't take.
Yes.
So
Yes.
if you want to chalk that up as a fail, I'll accept it.
Yeah, fail.
But the year before, he did have an epic fail. It was incredible. The footage was incredible. The situation was incredible. The just everything.
I feel like we're gonna have
And
to post this up. You got footage. We need to put this out to the world.
I do have footage. Well, no, actually, shoot. I don't have footage of him missing. I have footage of the bird. I actually turned that whole thing into a reel, but I cut it off after he shot. So we will spare him of that only because of that reason that I don't have it. Because if I had
Funny.
it would have been up there for sure. And then we're gonna talk
That's
about
called blackmail, by the way.
Does Jesus do that?
and then we're going to talk about his hunt this year and how his first turkey kill this year or last year, sorry, but his first turkey and how that whole hunt is associated with God and faith and what I truly believe was behind it all. So first off, Justin, let's talk about the epic fail.
Epic fail.
Mm-hmm.
So,
what did I tell you to do before turkey season started?
all right. So listen.
They're all ears.
I'm gonna say sight is gun or pattern is gun. Sight is gun. Pattern is gun.
So, I didn't listen to Jake. Well, actually, I did, but I just didn't seize the opportunity to take the time to go through with what we had
So
talked
you didn't
about.
listen.
If you want to say call it that, whatever. That's,
He
whatever.
heard you. He just didn't act on it.
Yeah. So, so I
You were on the fence, 1 foot in,
yeah,
1 foot out.
Yep. Still not beneficial.
Jumped off the wrong way, buddy.
Right.
Gonna get a good podcast.
But
out of it.
Yeah.
I definitely did not pattern my gun. And we go out and it's a great day. It really
it's beautiful.
I mean, there were gobbling all over the place, not just where we knew they were. They were on neighbors' properties, and it sounded like they were coming in. They were just hammering like crazy that morning. So anyway, we get to our spot and we sit down and we're waiting and waiting and waiting, and they're still hammering away. And then it got really quiet.
Once they flew down from the roost, they shut up.
Yep, they got lip tight.
Yep.
Big time.
Typical
And-
turkeys.
Yep. So Jake's like, okay, now I'm not a turkey expert. I don't pretend to be. I will never say that. Jake is my turkey expert. He's a lot more experienced, a lot more knowledgeable about the birds, stuff like that. Knows how they act. I'm learning still. I'm getting better, but I'm learning.
Yeah.
So anyway, we're kind of locked down on this spot, and we're waiting and waiting, and they all shut up. So Jake's like, hey, let's give it like half hour, 45 minutes. This was early season, like within the first week, because
Yeah, this was the first
We were-
morning we went. This
Yeah.
was the morning after opening day.
we could only hunt till noon.
Yes.
And so we were like, let's give it about a half hour, 45 minutes, and we'll start moving and try to make a move on them.
Yeah.
And figure out where they are.
What you don't want to do is you don't want to be calling at a turkey that's not answering you and then get up and move because the turkeys could come in silent. The bird that my dad killed this year, though both those birds came in silent. They didn't make a peep. So you don't want to get up and move just because they don't answer don't mean they're coming. So that's why half hour, I'm not moving for another half hour.
We're not calling anymore. We're just going to sit and wait.
Yep.
But we ended up moving, and we worked our way back out to the field edge, and because we were in the woods, and we're probably 150, 200 yards in.
Yeah.
Roughly.
Yeah.
And we moved back out, real slow, real quiet. And I get up to the edge of that field, and Jake hands me his half strut. He's like, hold this in front of you, like just in case something's out here. I said, okay. So I'm holding this half strut in one hand and my gun in the other hand.
Crawling.
And I look out there, and there's like, what? There's like
There's
two or three toms.
least-
There's at least 3 or 4
Yes,
Jakes,
yes.
and then probably 8 hens.
Yes.
Like
Sheesh, they're all there.
And the crazy
there
part
was
is
a turkey party going on in that field.
the crazy part is they were in the field just behind us from where we were sitting
Oh,
at.
yeah.
There's like a waterway that goes in and it kind of it V's in, and then there's a little strip of wooded edge that comes around the side. They were probably within 50 to 60 yards of us the whole time.
You didn't even know it.
But they were behind us and they weren't gobbling because of all the hens.
Yeah, they were already together, so they didn't need to be
they're good.
hollering at each other like, "Hey, girl, over here."
Right,
Nope,
yep.
there's none of that.
Hey, baby.
But anyway, so I crawl up to the edge, and I got this half strut in front of me, and I take, and Jake's like, "Now, watch this tom, because this tom was huge,
Yeah.
huge."
Definitely the boss tom.
And so I crawl up to the edge. He says, "Watch his head. If he flushes white, he is coming in on a string." So I was like,
Yeah.
"Sweet." I'm all jacked up, dude. My heart is like about to blow out of my chest.
Yeah.
I never thought a bird would get me so excited.
Oh yeah.
Ever. Like I get like that with deer,
Yeah.
but not. I was like, it's just a turkey. Like whatever. No, it's a thing. So I crawl up there and I stick the half strut and I'm watching him and I got my gun right around the edge of him.
Yeah.
Like right. Like I think I had it poked through the fan.
Yeah.
And I'm watching him, and Jake's back. You're like what, maybe 10 yards behind me?
About 10 yards behind you, yeah.
And he's like hiding behind this great big bush, and I'm watching this, Tom, and all of a sudden, white. And I was like, oh, that's what he's
This is
talking
what he
about.
said.
This is what he's talking
This
about.
is
He
what
told me
we're-
about this.
So I'm like lined up, and I am holding right on his head, and. Now, if Justin would have done what Justin was supposed to do and patted his gun, Justin would have aimed at the wattles instead of at the head because I shot
Yeah.
right over that bird.
He did. This bird did exactly what I told Justin he was going to do. If his head turns white, he's coming. And as soon as that bird spun around his strut and he saw that half strut, his head turned white and he was on a line.
His head flushed. And
Yeah.
shoo, he said, we're fighting.
Yeah, he did.
And I kind of got scared. I thought I was going to
Got scared.
I've about been run over by deer. I've never been run over by a turkey, and I thought it was about to happen. Like,
Oh, man.
I got
But-
them spurs. I mean,
Oh,
I don't
yeah.
know what that would do
Oh,
to you.
man.
You know what I mean?
And he put on a show, like all the
Did
way
he?
in,
Yep.
dude. He strut all the way in. He,
He-
was doing
he
the,
come-
the
yeah.
side strut
Yep, he was
and everything
coming in
else.
sideways.
Side-eyeing you.
Gorgeous. Until
and then Jake goes, all right, get ready. You know, just shoot when you're ready, but watch out for those jakes. Let the jakes clear so that way, you know, we're not shooting multiple birds. So I'm waiting, and I shoot, and I see this bird jump up in the air,
Yeah.
flapping, and I was like, sweet,
Got him.
You know, he hits the ground and just starts putting back into the woods, and all the other turkeys are kind of looking around, confused, and then they follow that one, and I'm like, wait a minute.
Did you not have another round in there?
You're supposed to fall over.
well, by the time that had happened, he was already back in his group with his hens and his jakes, so you couldn't take another shot.
Right.
And
Oh, I see.
Yeah. And then they bailed into the woods, which they weren't 15 yards off the edge of the woods anyway. So it was pretty quick.
situation.
Yeah.
Gotcha. So I was like, I've been unloaded.
So
Ain't getting away. Yeah, just like that.
with the side.
Yes.
oh, it's sideways kill shot. But yeah, that was my first turkey encounter in the woods. But prior to that,
Heartbreaker.
that was year number 3
Yes.
of me turkey hunting.
Yes.
So I told
You got that close.
and I got that close and blew it.
Yeah.
And I told Jake that I'm about to sell every turkey related item that I own. And
Done.
I'm never going to Thanksgiving. I don't want to see a turkey again. Like, I don't care.
I'm not going to the grocery store in November.
Well, you should have seen the aha moment was on that hunt. Not to interrupt you.
No, you're
we'll
fine.
we'll go back. But the aha moment was when we were done. We're like, what in the world just happened?
what happened?
Like, how does that happen? The bird was at 15
Still
yards,
processing.
probably,
If that.
Like, how does that? You know. So there was this like old dead tree, and I told stump.
Stump,
Yeah,
yeah.
yes, yes,
Yeah.
whatever.
Not a whole tree. It was just
And,
the stump.
Yeah, it's about 4 foot tall, probably.
Which is perfect for what we needed.
And I told Justin, I said, aim at that spot and shoot that spot. I want to see where this gun's hitting because it's not making any sense. And he shoots, and sure enough, he's hitting a foot high.
I was saying it makes perfect sense. He missed.
Well,
What do you mean?
It's not
He
at that
missed.
distance. I'm like, how?
How do you miss?
So I look at Justin, and I'm like, did you pattern your gun? Oh, well, you know, I was going to, but
Why do you
then
gotta do that?
This came up, and I just didn't get. I'm like, oh. So this year,
He wasted your time and energy.
no, he didn't. Oh, I enjoyed myself.
Okay,
thoroughly
good.
enjoyed
Hey, good
myself.
then. That's
I,
good.
I thoroughly enjoy how now.
I'm just trying to
because
make
it was-
him feel worse about it.
yeah, Jake enjoyed getting ammo to poke at me, is what it is.
because it was his
Yeah, that's-
first bird. Like, obviously, I wanted him to kill the turkey, right?
Mm-hmm.
But had he killed that turkey at that moment on
Yeah.
that day,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know that my situation would have happened.
Yeah.
On the bird you did kill.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Does that make sense?
Yep.
So
That's true.
At the time, I
You were
was
upset.
I was more upset for Justin because I know the feeling of missing a turkey, especially when it's your first turkey and you get so excited. I thoroughly know that feeling. But now looking back, I'm kind of glad that it happened the way that it did.
It made the one that I did get way more special.
Dude, I'm telling you. Okay, so before we get into that hunt, go ahead and talk about the year prior that you were talking about.
So, yeah, 2 years prior, that's when I first started turkey hunting.
Mm-hmm.
I had Jake talk me into it, and I was like, well, I'll try it. No big deal.
Mm-hmm.
And those first 2 years, nothing. And I told Jake, after I missed that bird, I was like, dude, I'm about to sell everything. And I'm done turkey hunting. Like,
That's what everybody says after waterfowl season. Worst season yet. I'm done. Decoys are in the boat. Everything's for sale. You know what I mean?
But
year.
that was the point that I was at. And the following year is the big one. That's the one that counted. How do you want to go into this?
So we knew, we did our homework. We knew where the birds were roosting, but they roosted in one of two locations, and normally it was on this ridge, the same place the birds were roosted when Justin missed his bird the year before. And but sometimes they roosted across the ridge too, just depended on rain, how much rain we've got in the water, all that kind of stuff, where they were going to go to feed, what that other field was planted in, that kind of stuff. And so, but we knew regardless we had to get closer to where he was roosted at, because in order to kill him we knew that if we were going to kill him, it was going to have to be off of the roost, because there's so many hens that if we give him the opportunity to get with his hens, then we're
done for the day.
We're done for at least the morning, right? And then typically we kind of had them patterned to where we knew where the birds were going to work off to once they flew down. So they would fly down, they would do their thing, and then they would work off to a field that we didn't have permission to hunt. And so we knew that. And so I would say a week or two before season opened, we went and looked for, droppings or feathers or any kind of sign that he was still roosting in that tree. And we really didn't find anything. Not like we did the year before.
No, but while we were out there and was looking around and checking things out, they actually started gobbling over on the neighbor's property in their back field.
Which is where they normally go to. So that didn't surprise us. They were there.
They like that field in the morning, and they like the property I have permission for, that field, they like it usually in the evening because the way the sun's, hitting.
Yeah, and they roost on that ridge.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, and that ridge is between both fields.
Yeah.
So like it's just, hey, it's our playground. We'll go wherever we want, whenever we want. And there's really not a whole lot of pressure other than coyotes. Yeah. The coyotes are pretty thick in there.
Bad. They're bad.
But there's not a whole lot of like human interaction. Like tractors, that's about it.
Yeah.
There's not a whole lot of people
Pretty off limits.
that turkey hunt. So but yeah, we went out there and was scouting around, and I think we found some stuff, but not as much as we'd like.
Yeah.
Like signs.
I didn't have a whole lot of confidence that bird was going to be roosted in that tree.
Right.
The morning, a week later when we would go out.
Right. But that tree was the only thing that we could bank on.
Only thing.
And so we were like, okay, well, we need to do something. So we just started grabbing some limbs and whatnot, laying on the ground. We built a little ground blind out of some dead stuff.
Yeah.
And it was pretty nice, really. And
I mean, it was a nice blind not to use.
Yeah.
Because we didn't even get there.
Yeah. So
okay.
So we build this thing and, go home, whatever, come back the, opening weekend or, because Jake hunts with his dad and his brother opening day, and I'm usually the following day. So Sunday.
Yep.
And so we go out there and we're walking in and I hear a gobble. So like we're walking and kind of talking real quiet. First off, we were a little bit late because TikTok.
Yes.
So we have a tendency to.
I'm scared of the dark. I'll tell you. I do not like walking in the woods.
Oh, goodness.
At dark. Yeah. I just don't like it.
So usually what happens is if Jake's with me, we'll get to the spot where we park to walk back.
Yeah.
And we're like, oh, well, we got some time. We start scrolling on TikToks and Reels.
The sun's not quite high enough.
I'm over here looking at Marketplace for stuff that I don't need and crap like that.
You got to see what you might need.
Right.
You never know.
So next thing you know, we're like, holy crap, the sun's coming up. We got to get moving.
Yeah.
So we start hightailing it in there, and I start hearing gobbles. And I was like, I stop, and Jake looks at me, which it's really funny watching us walk through the field. Because I'm walking and Jake is running to keep up.
3 steps to his one. It's just like he's going.
Justin's like
I'm
7 foot tall.
Yes. Yes.
Jake's 5'4". Little exaggerations.
I am
on
not
both ends,
5'4".
but- Yeah.
Give me a little credit here.
And a half.
And a half. There you go.
there you
Yeah.
go.
But so anyway, Jake's like, little Debbie, heavy breathing, stuff like that. And,
I believe it.
and
Those were the old days.
we get like halfway back. I hear gobbles. I stop. I'm listening. And Jake's like, what are you doing? I'm like, you didn't hear that? Mm-hmm. No. I'm like, dude, any other time, you're the one that hears it before
Right.
me. So anyway.
So I think I need to elaborate real quick. I qualify for hearing aids in both of my ears. It's the low tones that I have a problem hearing. High-pitched tones, on the other hand, I can hear more because of the low tones that I can't hear. So normally, if a turkey is gobbling on the roost, I can normally hear it. But I think it has a lot to do with my weight at the time and my breathing.
Your
like
breathing
I
was
I was
breathing?
breathing too heavy to be able to hear.
Oh, someone's here.
you're
the turkey
breathing
gobbling.
loudly.
Yes. Yes.
But yeah, so Jake's trying to keep up with me, and I stop, and he's
Someone's here.
finally listening, and
Keep going.
we we get 3/4 of the way back, and we hear another gobble,
They left.
and so Jake was like, "Hey, I heard that one,"
Yeah.
and then we kind of like listen a little bit more, and we figure out, oh, he is in that tree, that one that we were
Yeah.
banking
Yeah.
on him being in. So we get up to the edge of the woods where we actually, when we made that blind, we kicked the leaves and made our trail
Sure.
through the woods down to the dirt, so we didn't make any noise walking. And we start turning into the woods and start heading up that little path that we made. And he's hammer, hammer, hammer. And Jake's like, dude, we need to sit down now.
So at this point, you think he's on the ground?
No, I know he's in the tree.
No, but he is ready to come
But
down.
I
Okay.
think that he can. Okay, so when we're walking in, normally instinct to a turkey hunter is if he starts gobbling and he's that close, like we're trying to find the closest spot that we can sit down and not be seen walking in, because even though we can't see them,
Oh, yeah,
if they're
he's
up
up
in
in a
that
tree.
tree, he can see, especially if we're walking across an open field, right? And so, but I almost said, we're not going to go over there. We're going to go where in that same spot where we hunted the year before.
Yeah.
I almost said we're going to go there, but I just kept walking. Like it was just, I don't know. Like I knew that we wanted to get there, but I didn't think that we were going to make it there without him seeing us.
Yeah.
And I just kept walking, and I don't know, normally in a normal situation, I would have just sat right there.
Oh, we need to rewind just a little bit. So the night before we even went out on this hunt, I told Jake, I said, we're going to kill a turkey and make it to church on time still.
So, okay, yeah.
And he goes,
Ooh.
yeah, right. And I'm like, dude, I'm calling it right now. We're going to kill a turkey and we're going to make it to church on time.
So this is why, to me, this hunt is so important, and I wanted to explain prior to this moment. Justin had gotten baptized, and this was it what, 2 weeks, something like that before? How soon?
I got baptized on Easter.
Did you? Okay,
Yeah.
so yeah, so then
And
I mean, it would have been
Not long before.
No, it would have been like 2 weeks before,
Right.
if that. And so, of course, we went to Justin's church to support him in his baptism. On that day that I went into that church, I went in there for that reason. I went in there to support Justin during his baptism. I didn't go in there for the Lord. I didn't go in there to get saved. I didn't go in
Wasn't
there
about that for
to
you.
have that feeling, right? And so that's why it makes this hunt so important, because of how it all unraveled and what happened next, right? So, okay, I'll go ahead and let you. I just want to give that backstory
you're good,
on that.
because I need to tag a little backstory on that also. This property is the same property that I gave my life to Christ.
Yeah,
I was in the tree stand deer hunting, and
Yeah, there's a lot going on here.
just
Yeah,
You
that's-
know?
Yeah.
dude, just overwhelmed, emotionally, physically, just exhausted. And I'm like, you know what? There's only one person that can handle all this, and I gave it to him, like
right,
right
yeah.
then and there.
Yeah.
We just sat and talked, and I don't have the transcript of my testimony. It was on my old phone.
I remember hearing it though, and it was
and I related it to the hunting, you know, and when you go hunting, that's something I said in my testimony. It's
Yeah.
like, when you go hunting, you want your walk out to be heavier than your walk in because you got something, right?
Sure.
Yeah.
And I said, I didn't get anything.
Oh,
and,
I know where this is going.
And my walk out, dude, I felt like I could float.
Yeah.
All the weight was lifted. It was amazing. And from that day, this property has been so special to me. So from the turkey that I shot not long after, this past season, I got 3 deer, 2 of which came off this property. Both my does. They came off of that. Like, this property means
it is
more to me than as a hunter and a man of faith.
Yeah.
It means more to me than
God's
a
definitely
lot of
blessing
people
you
don't
through
realize.
that, through this property. God, totally.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Everybody has their thing, but like for you, like this property is just like,
Yeah.
It's almost holy ground. Like,
yeah,
that's what it feels like.
yeah.
I mean, it really is. Like, you get saved on it. I mean, it is. I mean,
Yeah.
that's your,
Yep.
Dude, that might be the title of this. Holy ground.
Holy ground.
Anyway.
Oh yeah.
You're welcome.
So
So you got saved. How long before that was the turkey?
Turkey was after.
Well, I know that, but like, what did you get saved the fall before the turkey, or like a year or two?
it would have been.
It would have been the year before.
The fall before.
The fall before.
The
Yeah.
deer
So-
season before
so
the turkey season.
That deer during deer season.
So 6
get
months
saved.
before, basically.
Right.
Okay. Yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
Deer season, get saved, and then have discussions
Yeah.
and stuff with pastor about baptism. So he's like, "Hey, I think it would be really special if you got baptized on Easter Sunday."
Yeah.
And I was like,
Yeah.
I'm down.
Yeah,
that's
that's
cool.
awesome.
And our church is, to me, it's big. I mean,
Yeah.
Compared to ours, it's big.
we got like 300 people a week.
Okay.
Back then, on holidays like Easter and
Oh,
Christmas,
yeah, it'd
they
be
would do 2
600.
services.
Be like 600 or something. Like
right.
everybody would go.
They'd have
Yeah.
to do 2 services because there's not enough room for everybody
Right.
in one sitting because it's pretty packed as it is.
Yeah.
So I actually had to get up on that stage and tell my testimony twice, but I obviously
Yeah.
only got baptized once. But to sit there and, I mean, I don't do public speaking. Like,
Right.
this is still a little bit,
Because the
just because the audience, But anyway, so I did that on Easter, and then a few weeks later, whatever, turkey season hit, and then this is when all this started conspiring. Like, so we go out to the woods the night before. I told Jake, I said, we're going to kill a turkey and make it to church, because like now that I'm saved and a part of the church, I don't want to miss church ever.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like crap whenever I miss church.
Yeah.
So I told Jake, I said, we're going to kill a turkey and we're going to make it to church.
Yeah.
And he's like, okay, and I'm telling you right now, that attitude that he had when I said that, 180 the second that we dropped that bird and we took some pictures and we still went to church.
Yeah. Okay. So when we're walking in, I need to give more context because this is how I felt, and this is why it's so important. Is like when we're walking in, normally, even now, right? If I know where I'm going to go, even if he starts gobbling on the roost, like I'm able to quickly figure out the best situation where to go. On that hunt, like I said, my mind is telling me we need to go sit right here.
But my body telling me.
But he kept pushing me forward to go to our spot. Like I just at the time I couldn't explain it. I wanted to go here, but something was telling me that I needed to continue to go where we wanted to go.
Yep.
Stay on the path.
Yes,
Jake.
and so we're sneaking in.
Stay on the path that you created.
And
about the path.
Yeah, the path. We're sneaking in the path.
The way.
Yes.
And he gobbles, and he's like 50 yards. And I don't try to get closer than 80 yards. I don't want to get close. So we sit down.
We didn't make it to the ground blind we made.
No.
The ground blind we made was like 40, 50 yards from the tree.
Yeah.
But we thought we were going to sneak in there and be able to, because it was undercover, because it's a lot of cedars.
Yeah.
And so if the bird's in the tree, they can't see through that to see the ground.
Yeah, the cedar, yeah.
So, because they're so thick.
Yeah.
But we ended up, like, Jake's like, hey, let's sit down now. And it's like, what, 6:25, 6:30, something like that when we sat
Yeah,
down.
something like that.
This is really bad because I can remember the time that I shot my bird, but I always forget the time that my kids were born. So
Yeah.
it's really bad.
Like it's and I had to keep checking my phone to make sure
for
it was
legal shooting light.
Like because I didn't want him flying down, and we still had 2 minutes before legal shooting light, and have him just walking around.
Because also the game warden lives right down the road and he hunts the property not far from me.
He'll hear it.
Right.
Yeah.
So like legit.
Yeah.
Had to make sure it was to the T.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which I always
Do
hunt
anyway, but
legally,
yeah.
you know, sometimes it's like, man, is it that time? You got to make sure.
Especially when you're in the woods and it's so much darker.
Yes.
And then you're like questioning whether or not it is. So I'm like the whole time I'm like checking my phone and and like I've got a camera and everything. Like I'm planning on filming this hunt, but it was so dark in there.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
And just the moment, like it got to a point to where Justin killing this bird was more important than me getting the footage of it.
Right. Well, and it didn't help either that it was pretty overcast that morning.
It was.
Yeah.
Yes.
It was really cloudy.
Which is a whole part of this story. Like
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
a whole deal in itself. But
Yeah. So
What time was he killed?
he was killed at 6:42.
6:42. Okay.
We sat down at like 6:30, and this old boy was just going off on the limb. And the thing is so like I wear glasses whenever I hunt and whenever I drive at night.
Yeah.
I don't ever wear them any other time. But it was so cool that morning that, you know, it was a little chilly, and I got my mask on. Well, it's steaming my glasses up, and I can't see anything.
Yeah.
And I'm like, crap, what am I going to do? So like literally I just like grab him and I flip him on the ground next to me because Jake's like, here he comes. Well, I saw him fly down,
Yeah.
which was really cool. Well, then he starts coming up and I see him strutting, and then you hear,
I lost him. I couldn't see him.
and I was like, dude, he is close.
And I heard that, and I'm like, whoa.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then he gobbled right there.
Yeah, and then he hammered like right next
Scare
to
ya?
us, and I about crapped myself.
The only reason I saw this bird is because his head was white.
Yep, his head
Yeah.
went white.
Everything else blended in with the woods.
Everything was black.
And so,
Everything.
and I got Jake sitting right behind, like I'm leaned up against a tree, and Jake's leaned up against the tree behind
Yeah.
me. And Jake's talking me through this, you know, because I'm about to lose everything. And
Yeah.
and he's like, all right, here he comes. You see him? And I was like, yeah. He's like, all right, you watching? I was like, yeah. Like, what kind of question is that? Like,
Mean.
so, but I'm
He's
watching.
probably afraid you were gonna miss.
I was.
Probably. But anyway, this bird comes over here to our right. We thought he was going to come to the left. It's a little more open. Over here, it's got some like undergrowth and
Yeah.
stuff. And so he ends up pushing through the undergrowth to my right. And I'm watching, and all I see is white. I can't see a body because he's blending in.
You see this
I
white
just
blob
see
moving.
a white head just kind of bobbing through there. And I like slowly turn and I get on him, and I hear Jake say, shoot. You need to shoot. And I was like, I'm trying. Like,
Yeah.
so I turn, I shoot, and Jake's like, you just got your first turkey. Like,
Yeah.
and I was
Well,
like,
the cool thing was,
but I didn't even know that the bird, like, the bird
couldn't see it.
Yeah. Yeah.
He literally just flopped dead, and didn't move.
He didn't flop nothing.
Yeah.
He didn't flip around,
We
nothing
nailed
like
him.
that. So I mean, that was a really about the best shot
That's what
you
they
can
call
get.
dropping the hammer.
It was. But the cool thing is,
the tack to it.
is even though I had 2 cameras going,
Yeah.
one camera was supposed to be for the actual
The video.
film, but I had the secondary camera for us
For audio.
but it had the wireless mics on it. I
Yeah.
had kept that one rolling, so we have the audio of the whole thing. Like you can hear the
Yeah.
bird gobble, you can
go.
hear him, spit and drum.
Oh, that's cool.
everything. It was incredible.
Yeah, and like I said, we're not perfect by any means. So when I shot this bird, Jake had a choice word during a congratulatory sentence.
I did. I did.
And I my grandma, she was
Keep
like,
in mind, this is pre-Jesus.
yeah, my grandma, she was like, oh, like that, and I was like, listen.
Jake, ruin the moment.
I at least beeped it in the audio.
Right.
I did.
I was like, look, when guys get excited over stuff, sometimes it comes out. She's like, I'm just messing. I get it. Like,
Yeah, like I never heard a curse word.
right. Right. But yeah, that whole hunt was insane. So I dropped the bird, and we're sitting there. I'm still trying to gather myself after doing this because I'm so jacked up. And I'm like having to beat Jake off of me with a stick because he's like trying to hug me, like all excited, But
And this was like a dark, rainy, gloomy morning.
it was
Yeah.
super gloomy, super like overcast. It was
Yeah.
chilly, like
Just a gross morning.
right. And so I go look at the bird, and we're kind of looking at him over and stuff. And Jake's like, "Hey, well, let's just take it out to the field so we can get some pictures." And so, but we got to wait for the sun to pop out or come up a little more.
We
or
got
something,
no
'cause
light.
There's no light. Mm-hmm. And no, mind you, again, we were legal shooting light.
Right.
Sit by the
Inside
book.
the
Technically,
woods, it's dark.
It's dark as crap in those
Right.
woods.
Oh, yeah.
Which it always is. Even if you kill them in the middle of the day,
Right.
it's harder taking pictures inside the woods.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Than,
So,
you know what I mean?
so we drag them out to the field, and I'm telling you right now, like what, 5 seconds
Oh.
after we walked out into the field, the clouds just
Clouds
opened up,
part and the sun shining through.
Oh, it was like, and the sun was beating just on our field, like not like just that
Nowhere
property.
else, just
No,
you.
just us.
It was amazing.
And this is the point in the story that means the most to me, right? Because there is absolutely no other way. I was told to go to this spot. I was told to keep going. If you ask me now, what would I have done had I not had that push? I would have told you we would have went to the spot that I was planning on going to, and we probably would not have killed that bird.
Mm-hmm.
The second thing is there were no hens. He was by himself on the roost. So that was almost not a gimme, but that's when you get a lone gobbler on a roost and you're that close to him, you're pretty much at least going to see him. And then the fact that he flew down and he walked right to us, like on a string. The fact that you made the shot, right? And then the biggest thing is when we bring the turkey out and what was a dark, gloomy, rainy, overcast morning, the clouds parted and the sun is coming through on us. At that point, I was like, there is absolutely no way this happens without the hand of somebody much, much bigger.
Right. Yep.
Like, it was so overwhelming. And then there was hey, we got time to go to church.
Yep.
And this was the day that I opened myself because of that hunt, because of that bird, that situation, the experience, and the understanding that had it not happened the way that he was wanting it to happen or telling us it was going to happen, I would not have been so open to that day of church. And so we had went, and that was the first time that I stepped into church fully committed to opening myself up to him. And ever since then, it's been different. It's just things have changed. And that's why I say this turkey is, I mean, obviously it's your first turkey.
Right. It means
You
a
know
lot
what I mean?
to me, but it means
It
more
is.
to you in the spiritual
Oh
way.
man, I can't. I just,
Yep.
and that's why, like, there will never be.
Just too many signs. I mean, come on.
It's crazy. There will never be a hunt.
I mean, you could sit there and say, oh, coincidence. You know what I mean? Oh,
Yes.
chance, whatever.
Yes.
But, like,
Yeah,
There's
you
no
know,
such
you-
thing as chance
you
or
get-
coincidence.
people don't give God enough credit.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
There's
Like, you got saved on that property.
divine authority and
You
power.
go get baptized 2 weeks later. You kill your first turkey. Like, a terrible morning for everything turned into a great morning for everything.
Yes.
Made it to church in time. Had a receptive heart.
yeah,
Like, the whole thing is just like,
yeah. There will never be not only a turkey hunt, but there will never be another hunt in general that will have so much impact and meaning in my life. I mean, obviously,
Oh, yeah.
Bryson killed his first turkey this year.
Yeah.
An absolute awesome moment in my life,
yeah.
right? Something that, as a father,
Oh, yeah. You don't ever forget that one.
No, but I would be lying if I said that moment was greater than the moment that I decided that I was going to let Jesus Christ in my heart. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you can't top that.
No.
I mean, what are you going to do?
No.
You know what I mean? That paves the way for everything.
You know what I mean? And then the craziest part is, like, every season since then has been rock solid.
Yeah.
Like, it's just been the most, and I said it after,
Coincidence.
I said it after,
You know what I mean? Like,
after that year,
God will bless you.
We had a solid year. We all had a solid year that year.
Deer hunting.
No, turkeys.
Or turkeys.
So you killed a bird that year.
Yep.
I killed a bird. Ashley killed a bird. Braylon killed a bird. And Zane killed. I mean, everybody was.
Jared killed a bird.
Jared killed a bird. His first bird.
So I killed mine at 6:42, and then the next weekend Jared killed his at like 6:46 or something like it was. They were both super early
Yeah.
kills.
Yeah. And then I thought, there's no way we're ever going to have another season that tops this. And then this year, Ashley killed a bird. Bryson killed his first bird. Dad killed a bird. It's the first turkey I've seen Dad kill in Ohio ever. But and then Zane killed a bird. Like, it was just, I had my chance. I screwed it. I Justined it for sure.
I Justined it again this year. You want to talk about that one?
Hey, we got about 15 minutes, so let's hear it.
Okay, so
I'm ready to eat lunch, dog.
Did you order it yet?
No, I was gonna see if you wanted to go somewhere.
Oh, okay. I'm good with that.
All right, shut her down.
No.
cut. No, just real quick. This one's just stupid. So I bought a Last Flight turkey call.
Yeah, buddy.
A slate over glass. And boy, I'm telling you right now, I am not much with a call. But I sounded professional with this slate. I mean,
they're easy to play.
I was getting it to purr.
I mean, not to make you feel any worse, but I'm fairly certain Bryson can pick up one of our calls and sound like a turkey.
So now I'm on the
You
same
just
level as
keep dragging this dude.
I'm on the same level as a toddler now.
Brotherly love. All right, go ahead.
My next call is going to be from Little Tights. So.
There you go.
But anyway, so I'm out there, I'm purring and I'm cutting and I'm getting some gobbles and stuff. And then they go quiet. Now, there's probably at least 2 or 3 different birds I heard gobbling.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, cool. And I'm by myself. This is also the first time I've ever turkey hunted by myself, calling for myself, because I've always had this guy over here doing all the calling for me, since I'm not that good at it, especially diaphragm calls. And so I'm sitting there, picking away on this slate. And I'm like, man, how cool would it be if I call my own turkey in? This would be another really cool first. I call my own turkey in.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so I'm sitting there and like, man, they went away awful quick, and they went like beeline straight away from me. And I'm like, something's going on. Like
That call.
I thought maybe a coyote or something come running through, because I was on top of that same ridge. Again, this is where they hang out, is that ridge. And so I'm like sitting around waiting, and then I hear them hammer like 20 yards to my left.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what? So what they did is they went out and they did a big circle.
Yeah,
And then they
came
came
right
back
to you.
came back to me.
Could have been different birds, too.
It might have been, but
Yeah, you never
for some
know.
reason I doubt it, because there was 3 jakes,
Right.
and they were piled on top of each other, tripping over each other, stuff like they just didn't know what to do. It seemed like it was really weird. So I'm watching, and they walk right in front of me, and I got them at 10 yards, and I'm like, I know there's a big Tom out here.
Right. Yep.
So that first bird kind of spoiled
Well,
my
you can't
attitude
shoot a
about
Tom and then the
others.
next year shoot a Jake.
Exactly.
Right? Like,
Right.
oh, what are you doing?
It's like you shoot a nice buck. Well, you got to shoot a bigger one the next year. You know?
We're passing until we get to the next level up.
Right.
And I just think you're going to have 3 longbeards to hunt this year.
Yeah.
Right. It's very true.
You know
So
what I mean?
Yeah.
I ended up passing on them, and I never saw another thing the rest of the season. But then again, also with my job where I was working, like I was like an hour and 20-minute drive one way. So like,
it's rough.
and there was nowhere in between public land to where I could just stop on the way home and, go hunt until it got dark or whatever. So I ended up losing pretty much all my season except for opening weekend.
Yeah, it's rough.
And, or just on the weekends, I should say.
Yeah.
But yeah,
You were working a lot of Saturdays, though,
I was
too,
working
so-
a lot.
Yeah.
But now
So was Jake.
I got a new job,
Baseball.
and my Fridays are opened up. So
Yeah.
There you go.
that's going to help tremendously.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Our podcast tends to be recorded a little bit later on Fridays during turkey season or during hunting season in general, because, that's our time to
Burning
get
that
out
midnight
and hunt.
oil.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Well, you ready to wrap this thing up?
Yeah.
I'm hungry.
Yeah. I'm getting hungry too. And getting hot. We open them doors up, turn them fans on.
Fan
Yeah.
on.
So,
All right, guys. We genuinely appreciate you guys tuning in to this show. Don't forget about the giveaway that's going on right now with the Last Flight calls.
I already did.
You already forgot about it?
Yeah. Thanks for
Oh,
reminding everybody.
I thought you said you already gave it away. I was like, what?
Yeah. Yeah, get on Last Flight Show or Last Flight Calls. And this one's going to be strictly on social media this time. We usually do it through the website. This time it's strictly on social media, Facebook or Instagram. Get on there. It's the pinned post at the top of either one of those pages.
Yep.
Do what it says to do, and you can go and pick out what you want on our website.
It's super easy. Take 10 seconds and get you in on the giveaway. Like it's crazy easy.
Yep. And you're supporting the Last Flight show, which I think is doing great things and all that. So, really appreciate everybody supporting us regardless. But, all the small things help a lot. They all add up to something big. Each person sharing, go on and share our post because you don't know who's going to see that. What's that going to spark in somebody that you don't even realize, that's looking at it. And, just a pretty simple way to possibly change someone's outlook on life. You know what I mean? So, cool stuff. So, So if you haven't, go follow us on Instagram, on Facebook, The Last Flight Show, and go subscribe to the YouTube where you can watch the podcast, interact with different reels, shorts for YouTube and all that. And that's about it.
So is that it?
That's it.
All right, guys. Thanks for tuning into this episode. We'll see you on the next one.